Nice speaking with you, Wyn.
Oh my God, so nice to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God, first and foremost, I want to ask you, how are you right now after the massive success of your song?
Look, I'm just riding this wave, just taking it day. It's kind of a surreal moment, really. So I'm just trying to take it all in and ride this amazing wave just that's happening. So it's been awesome, really awesome.
Yeah. What was your reaction when you found out or your team found out that your song, Who I Am, starting to, became a hit globally? I mean, a lot of netizens, fans, or listeners are commenting that, positive comments are keep on coming, when
Yeah,
how do you
yeah.
react to that? How are you taking that popularity so far?
Oh, it's been like a gift, this whole thing that's happened with the Celine. And even before that, like I um I started kind of seeing some success from it from when I sang on AGT because I released my album back in 21. And so Who I Am, even before that I released the EP that was entitled Who I Am. So I had like about 4 songs on there. And then I released my album in 21. And then I went on AGT, and that's kind of when this thing started catching momentum, the song. And so, and but this is just a whole nother level now. Like having it be featured in this film has been just even a more of what I experienced from AGT, because it's just so much more global too. I mean, I'm hearing from people all around the world and their stories about how the song is inspiring them, and it's just really cool to hear so many different stories from people, but about how their interpretation that they receive from it, which I love. That's what music does. And so it's just been incredible. I'm really trying to still take it all in. It's very surreal. So, but I love it. It's a dream come true, honestly.
Yes. As a listener, I have my own interpretation of your song based on what I feel, based on
Yeah.
my emotion. But you, as an artist, what is Who I Am as a song for you? What is the message that you want to portray for that particular song?
Well, Who I Am, it was when I wrote it with my good friends Vanessa and Josh, Vanessa Kemp and Josh Brian Louis. And we when we wrote it, I mean, I went into the session and just started talking. I just started I had just moved to Nashville. I'm still finding myself, learning how to love myself, learning how, the self-discovery journey I was on. And so I wanted to put that to pen. And so as I began to talk, we just were typing, all of us, but we kind of birthed Who I Am in a sense, from our just conversation. And I kind of love that I got to go a little deeper on that song and kind of talk about my personal journey, of even being like, I always tell this story of when I was a kid. I I I got interviewed by the news, and at my school they came, and I remember just hating that video because I was so hard on myself. I had a high voice, I had a speech impediment, so I was just super hard on myself back then. But I saw the video recently because my principal sent it to me, and all I wanted to do was hug him. When I looked at my younger self, all I wanted to do was just hug him and tell him he's enough and tell him he got this and tell him, yeah. And, so that's what the song kind of is me letting, because I locked him away for a long time. And, a fear of what other people thought of me, of what people said to me, but now that's Who I Am is kind of the release, letting him out and fly, so
And that song really resonates. The
yeah.
message, the meaning of that song really resonates to us, your viewers, your
Oh, thank
audience,
you.
your
Thank
listeners, and
you.
we appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that means so much to me to hear that. Thank you so much.
when were you conscious during the moment you were writing or producing that song that this will create a big impact, not just for yourself but for the audience, for the listeners? Were you conscious on on that kind of thing, or you're just doing your job, you're doing your thing, and you know, let the audience decide what to bring to that song?
Yeah, the what I love about music is you can get your like even after because when I went on AGT, I went and honored because I lost my twin brother in 2020. And so I wanted to honor him because it was one of his favorite songs from my album. And I hadn't released the album yet, but I released the EP that he got to hear entitled Who I Am. So when I was honoring him, and so but whenever I'm writing a song and creating it, I always want it to have a big impact. I want my music to be heard all around the world, and because I know what the power of music and what it's done for me, and what artists have done for me, and how they've inspired me to even do what I'm doing. And I want to be able to inspire other people and other artists as well, you know. So always keep in mind who I'm writing for, and ultimately it comes from here, but I want it to speak to everybody. And so like that's what I've loved that Who I Am has been able to do, is like even people now listen to it that are grief, that are also going through grief, and also, you know, on that journey of self-discovery. So many different stories from so many different people and backgrounds and experiences can can get a message from that, which is it's kind of taken on a life of its own in a sense, you know. So I didn't imagine it was gonna be to this degree. I mean, I wanted to all the time, all my music when I'm writing it to have that kind of global impact, so to say. But it's so cool to see it actually happen. It's been
Yeah, and
it's
speaking
been
of
really cool.
global impact, Wyn, your song became, or more inspiration was added, more people were inspired after your AGT journey, after the release of your EP, and now it was featured in Celine Dion's documentary. What was your reaction when you found out that your song was featured or will be featured in Celine Dion's documentary?
So I know when my A&R actually called me from my label that I'm with, and he said that her team had reached out, and he shared with me like in their email they talked about how the song really inspires her and it uplifts been in with her journey with, I mean, with her struggle with SPS, and how it's just and I've been following because I'm a Celine fan. You know, I love her. I grew up listening to her and studying her as a vocalist. You know what I mean? Because she's like top tier, top one of the best vocalists. So, you know, so as a vocalist, she's somebody that I've very much looked up to and been inspired by, and an artist as well. And so it was kind of like a full circle moment of valid. Even just that alone was a gift to me to hear that, because that's what her music has done for me. I mean, literally for real, times when I was feeling so down, I would just put on a Celine song or put on That's the Way It Is. That's when I remember specifically, because I was that kind
What
of
was your
helped me
most
stay.
favorite Celine Dion song? That's the way it is.
It's one of them. It's one of my favorites. I mean, there's so many. I just feel like what I love about her music is very timeless, and it's very, and that's what, and a lot of artists I listen to have that same uh, timeless feel to their music. You can listen to it. I mean, I love listen because I went on a road trip with my best friend who I write with. He's actually from the Philippines as well, but we
Wow.
yeah, because we wrote most of the album together, my last album, and he produced it, and he also was producing
What's
this
his
next
name?
album. Fred Williams, Built by Titan. Yep, and
Okay.
so yep, he's my one of my best friends, and we've been just working in music and writing together since I moved to Nashville. Like, um, I we were roommates when I first moved here, and we've just been working on music ever since. He kind of was the real person that helped me find my sound, find like the direction that I wanted to go musically. So yeah, so it's just it's honestly just been like, oh, so when I first found out, so I screamed a little bit. I was like, "Oh my God, what? This is incredible!" And then and then I didn't hear much about it afterward. I didn't want to tell a lot of people. I didn't know what capacity it was even going to be used in the film. But I just to know that it inspired her was just enough for me. Really, truly, like, and so, and I didn't want to get my hopes up because then, things change. You sometimes they go a different direction. I didn't want to, but just at least knowing that it brought her inspiration was everything. So, yeah. So then when I actually found out that it was in it, I was in my bed about to go to sleep, and I got a text from one of her fans that had seen an early release of the film, and that was kind of because I was still unsure, and then she was telling me how impactful it was. It was one of the most impactful parts of the film, and I was like, "What?" So I jumped out the bed and I start pacing, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's actually in it!" So I've just been crying and just tears of joy and just really just taking all this in. It's been incredible, and to know more importantly that it is helping her get through, her it's assisting on her healing journey. That's everything for me. It really is. And to see it is a whole nother, that was a whole nother story. Actually
Yeah,
seeing it for myself.
it's one of the best experience as an idol, as a fan of
Yeah.
Celine, rather. It's such a great
Yeah.
experience to see Celine singing your song.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. I mean, because actually I started getting more messages after that from people, and one of her fans that actually live in Canada was like, "You should check in your area and see if there's an early showing." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I did, and I invited my friend, my co-writer, and we went and saw it, and a few other friends. Because I was a vocalist during the time, so I was trying to like really keep it easy, but it was hard to not be like it's like, but so we cried together and watched it, and I could have never imagined it would play that significant part in the film, and
Yeah.
how impactful that it is just it's like I won an award. That's how I
Yeah.
feel, truly.
Indeed, indeed. But Win, was there a chance that you had a communication with Celine or none at
No,
all?
I haven't been able to talk directly to her yet, which I would love to, and I plan on it. But the director wrote me a really sweet message, and Celine reposted me on her story on Instagram, which was really special. Um, and then the director Irene Taylor, the amazing director Irene Taylor, she reached out and just wrote a really sweet message to me, and told me that it was such a significant. They had it. They had that they were going that direction in my mind all along as they were editing, and so oh my God, it was just really special to hear that. So I can't wait to
Yeah.
actually meet her in person. That'll be another dream come true for sure.
Yeah, that leads me to my next question because since the release of the documentary, a lot of fans are saying or asking, will there be a collaboration between Celine and Wyn on that particular song? Is that
Hey,
gonna possible?
listen, I know now because of this that it is possible. All things like it's this has shown me that it's definitely possible. So I'm definitely um looking forward to something like that happening for sure. And hopefully we can. I have some things in mind, some ideas in mind and things. So I hope that I have that can happen for sure. It would
Right.
absolutely be a dream come true. And I see all the comments. I mean, and I love how many people are liking it when one person puts it and then another, and then so many likes it gets. And so yeah. So I'm really just, but just hearing her sing with me, like, oh my God, just I'm still just I get emotional when I think about that, especially because it was such a um heart-wrenching moment in the film, that she sang it, and to show that kind of strength and resilience, like honestly, that alone, I was like, I know I'm gonna be singing this song for the rest of my life, honestly. Like, and so, yeah, I definitely love those comments. People are saying it, and I think that could be a really cool collaboration. So I'm hoping that we can make that happen.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, Wyn. You're gonna update us if
I will.
that's
Oh
gonna
yeah, for
thing.
sure.
Yeah. Now, Wyn, you've mentioned that you have a Filipino friend. Have you been to the Philippines? Have you visited the Philippines?
Not yet, but I plan
Oh,
on coming. I mean, I really want to come there, and all this love that I'm receiving from there, I want to come and give it back. So, and especially it's home to my we work so much in music, all the music that you get to hear, he produced most of it. We wrote it all together. So like b- being able to like go there and like I said, give all this love that I'm receiving back, that it's gonna be special. So I plan on it. I really do. I plan on coming out. I want to come there, do a few songs there at the radio for you, whatever, you know. Yeah, so I definitely plan on coming for sure.
yeah. Visit Manila as soon as possible because your
I
fans
will.
are waiting for you.
That's where he's
So,
from
Wyn,
too, Manila. Yeah.
yeah. So, Wyn,
Yeah.
after the success of Who I Am, what can we expect more from you? I believe you just released your new single. So what are we gonna expect
Yeah.
from you in the coming months?
So right now, the single that I have out, I have actually three singles from the next. So I'm working on a new album, and I've released three singles so far this year, which is "Where Are the Giants," um, "Mom of Mine," which was the mother. I released on Mother's Day, a dedication to my mom. She's an awesome mother, and so and then I released this song called "Run," and that's kind of
Wow.
even another one that talks about my journey with music and just following, jumping into this wave, jumping, not being afraid and just going for it. And so far, those are the three that I have out. And I plan on, I'm going to be releasing another one, which will be the title track of the album and it's called Happy Again. So I'm really excited to share. I kind of call that my who I am of this album in a sense. So, but
Wow. So much to
yeah.
offer from you, Win. My gosh, we're so
Oh,
excited
yeah.
for your music, for more music from you.
Oh my God. I'm excited for everybody to hear it. I mean, I've been working really hard on this album. I feel like it's a more it represents me more than anything I've done so far, and it's just a culmination of all of my inspirations and the music inspirations, and I've kind of mashed it into the sound that makes Wyn Starks. So I'm really excited to hear. And the other songs have gotten such a great response too, and so much love from people. So I'm excited to share so much more with everybody.
Yeah, and speaking of everybody, just to wrap this up, what is your message to your fans, to your Filipino fans who are, supporting you and cheering you on?
That love means so much to me. I'm so overwhelmed in such a of all the amazing comments and with joy and love, like, and so that's why I want to get there and give it back, I mean, and I uh I I just appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. It really does. Like, it reminds me why I do this, and it puts a new fire inside of me to be able to hear all the how the song is just impacting so many people. And so um, I can't wait to get there and do it in person.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
that, Win, I have a small request. Can you sing a few lines from Who I Am, please?
Oh
Your
my
most favorite
goodness.
part.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Let me try to get a good key.
Okay. Just
um
a few lines.
uh, I gotta be me, gotta be I, gotta be who I know I am inside. Can finally breathe, taking it in. Look at me flying. It's always been there. It just took me a minute to find it. If I were to be anybody else, I'd just be hiding who I am, who I am.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Win. I really appreciate that. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much
goodness.
for
Thank
that
you for
for that
having
few
me.
lines. I really love this interview and I'm looking forward to see you here in Manila very, very
Yes, I
soon.
can't wait to meet you in person for sure. I'll be there. I will. I will.
Yeah.